What up, YouTube family? Thank you for being here with me today. My name is Randy. Welcome to my YouTube channel and episode number 2, Wisdom Rants with Randy. I am so grateful that you are here with me today, so thank you, each and every one of you who has taken the time to check out my channel, check out my videos. Thank you. And I'm so stoked that you're here today. Today is a big one. Today I want to talk about authenticity. Authenticity is something that I myself have struggled with the past few years, especially post-COVID. Prior to that, you know, I was at a time in my life when I felt like I had everything figured out. And then, you know, something happened. The lines crossed somewhere and I lost myself in there. And yeah, I'm just on a journey of really trying to tap into the path back to that pure authentic place. Yeah, what a beautiful journey it is, but also like what a excruciatingly painful journey it also can be, because I so deeply, you know, I love myself, and I'm learning to love myself more and more and more. And you know, sometimes we love ourselves and then we lose ourselves and we get lost and we have to find our way back. You know, there's an ebb and flow to life, and I wholeheartedly and truly honor that process. But as a human, it's so hard. It's so fucking hard to honor things that make you want to pluck your eyes out sometimes. And so I felt like it was a beautiful topic to just talk about and my journey on it, and see if there's anyone out there who can relate. You know, I know I'm not the only one. And I've definitely learned some beautiful tricks and tips and strategies and methods, and how to like pull myself back into myself when I come, or I feel like I've you know, floated away from my true authentic self. So here we are trying to stand in our authenticity. This is me in my pure authenticity. One thing you'll learn about me, my left eye doesn't go right. That is where it sits unless I'm looking right or up. You'll notice my hair, my hair is like how I hide its incapability. So showing up authentic, here we are. Fully authentic Randy. You will never see her left eye go to the right, or sorry, to the left. I was born that way. And so I just felt, you know, showing up in my authentic self, I'm just going to share my pureness. You know, often I try to hide it, or I'll angle my camera where it looks like I'm looking directly at the screen, but I will always have this head tilt a little bit to the left. I will always be on somewhat of an angle looking at the camera. I sometimes probably don't look like I'm looking directly at you, but I am. And so that's something that's super vulnerable for me, that has taken me decades, a lifetime, maybe not a full lifetime. I'm only a quarter way there, quarter and a half, quarter of a century, somewhere around there. And yeah, that's a tender one for me. So to just get the authentic train rolling, let's spill the beans. You know, I'm even amongst my time of the cycle when body is retaining water weight and my double chin is more prominent, especially in certain angles. And so, yeah, just like expressing that out loud and letting it be present. It feels better. You know, this morning, the reason this is coming up for me, and I want to bring this to surface here, is because this morning, after having some dreams in the night, that was like, it was like I was in a dream where I had a friend that wasn't accepting me to show up anything less than as my authentic self. They were like, no, it was like, go back, try again. Come back when you can show up authentically. And it was like hurting me in my dream. And so I woke up this morning with almost this like I can't it hurts more. It hurts more to like restrain her than it does to like just let her out now. And so perhaps that's why I've decided to record a video and just like bring it into this space, because our authentic beings yearn to be seen, but we think we need to, at least from my experience, forgive me if this is not you, but you know, I thought I needed to put a layer of what others want from me on top. You know, kind of like when you go on stage, and my stage to me is like going into the outside world. I'm like, okay, what do these people want from me? Like, what do they want? How do they want me to show up? How should I act towards them? What is the appropriate, like maybe not even what they want, but what is the most appropriate way for me to respond so that I'm liked or loved, or so that I am receiving back the feedback I require to be validated by the external world because I'm lacking internal validation, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that's you, but it's definitely been me multiple times. And there are even times, especially when I come face to face with someone who I know is in their authentic way of being, it's like my insecurities, that part of me, it's like, oh, I don't know what mask to put on, gets so much louder, like increasingly louder. And then I glitch out even more, not knowing if I'm acting appropriately or not. And so anyways, this morning I had this like urge, this like feels like a surge of energy coming through me, being like, you can't tuck this away anymore. You can't put her in the back pocket and pretend she's not there and try and like cater to what everybody else wants based on what you think you need to be liked or loved or worthy. She can't hide anymore. And it feels good. It just feels good to even like show up in this space. Here we are. So maybe I'll touch on like some fun, authentic things that are like kind of flowing out of me, I notice. One of them being like my way of dressing and like external expression, you could say, and even like how I move in the world, how I feel like dressing based on like maybe what other people require. You know, right now I'm like moving into, and maybe this is temporary, maybe it's only gonna last a week or a month or a year, I don't know, but right now it just feels super appropriate for me to like wear looser, baggier fitting clothing, and that's not something new to me. I love sweatpants, love them, but it's very rare that I wear like a baggy t-shirt and baggy sweatpants, because to me, like, I label that as like homeless, or, you know, not that that's, but it's just a label. It's just a label that my brain has associated with like how the clothes I wear. It doesn't mean if someone else wears that, they look like that. It's like how I've labeled myself and associated these meanings with how I see myself based on what I wear, based on how I act. And so I'm deeply moving into like putting on clothing that I wouldn't normally allow myself to leave the house in, and just like really tuning into like what feels best for me regardless of what the outside world thinks of it. You know, even like, I'll be honest, like starting the video, I had my hair up, I was in ponytail, it was messy, I have mismatched shirts on. I was like, oh, maybe I'll button that up and hide that one and make it look better and more pretty and put my hair down. But, you know, it's nice to feel like you look good, right? You want to feel like semi-confident, especially when you're a new person exploring new realms of social media, such as YouTube. And so, it's just been this internal journey that I thought was so necessary and maybe, you know, super beautiful to share and see if there's anyone out there that can relate and perhaps, you know, take something beneficial from this. One of the things I notice so much lately. And now I know for certain I'm not the only one. It's like post-COVID, so many of us got so comfortable inside our own little bubble and only saw like very few people. Like human interaction was at a minimal. And I noticed after that now I want to keep human interaction at a minimal. One, because I became very energy conscious in every exchange, every slight interaction, smile on the street. You know, sometimes you don't got energy for that, and that's okay. But now, even if I do have energy for it, I avoid it because I'm not sure how to interact with humans like I once had. I'm not sure how to have these just like surface level interactions like, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Like, I'm just, maybe I'm just past surface. You know, like a quick hello or a hi on the side of the road is fine, and that's great. Like that holds meaning in itself. But I deeply feel like I'm at this point where, you know, more than that is consuming energy that is required for other areas of my life. And that's just where I'm at. That's also temporary. So, you know, everything's always changing. That's fine. But perhaps, you know, I'm also avoiding to a level that I don't know how to show up anymore. I don't know how to interact with these people in an authentic way because I don't know where that authentic self is or where she's, you know, how many walls I've built up around her since then. And so it's been really interesting as I have been delayering, you know, those walls that I've built up over the time in, you know, need for protection from past trauma or emotions that make me uncomfortable in my body, or, you know, and we build up these layers, we build up these walls, and then all of a sudden you don't know who you are inside those walls. Because the thing about walls is, you know, metaphorically speaking, these walls don't only protect from what's on the outside, but it's also keeping what's inside. Therefore, we are not allowing like energy to move out that needs to go because we are so scared to let new energy in. And that's at least like how I've interpreted my experience in many ways. And it's not for everyone. I wholeheartedly understand that. But it's definitely been like a serious internal conflict that I've been dealing with, like insecurities coming to surface at the loudest moment, where all you're doing is having a simple interaction in the pharmacy and you're like, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, good. And like, I feel like I'm at war inside myself. Like my authentic being is just like, let me out. And I'm like, no, you're not allowed out. And so it's like this clashing happening within me. And then it's like a glitch in the matrix happens. I'm like, oh, I gotta go, sorry. And then I just like run away, and it really feels like I've just gotten on stage and she didn't have her script. And life doesn't give us a script. And we have to stop acting like we need one and just throw it away. Or maybe you can have a script because for the need of comfort, you can have a script, but let it be blank. Let that script be blank, and improv your way through with whatever feels good in that moment, not based on, and I know this is all easier said than done. I mean, I've been working in this realm, in this area of my life for the last few years, like up against this uncomfortable state of being. And it stems from insecurity of needing to be a certain way for life to give you what it wants, right? If we are seeking validation, we're gonna act in ways that will receive validation. I had some girlfriends say to me, like, you're fishing. And I'm like, what does fishing mean? And they're like, you're fishing for compliments. And I like really reflected on that. It was like a playful setting. Like, it's not like it was super serious, but it was something I had never heard before. But after that, I had become so aware of like the areas in which I maybe did fish for certain level of like validation from my mother or people outside of my friend circle, you know, and I thought this was living in a small town, but then I've recognized like it's everywhere. This has happened to everyone in many different cultures and you know, places in the world. Like I thought I was the only one at war inside my psyche. And when I say at war inside my psyche, I was at fucking war inside myself. And it was like I felt shame or I felt insecurity. I felt insecurity and then I shamed myself for it. And the most appropriate thing to do when you feel insecure in any way, shape, or form is to not like resist it, right? The instant we feel insecure about something, we're like, ooh, I need to do something about that. Fix it. Stop it. And we don't want to do that. We want to actually just go, wow, I feel insecurity in my body. Like recognize it to be there and just let it exist. Like that's okay. You're allowed to feel insecure. Because that allows it to like pass through. But when we feel insecure and we just go like, oh no, stop, this needs to go away. It's like we're just trying to like shove it back down. It's something that's coming up and we're just shoving it back down inside of us. We don't want to shove anything back down in us. We want to let it come up and go, hi, I see you and I love you anyways, no matter how ugly you are. Emotion. I'm talking about emotions. Like, hi, I love you. I see you. If there's a little girl, if there's a little you and they're like coming up, you know, think of like the inner child. If they're coming up to you, like tugging on your shirt going, I don't feel good. And you go, shut up. Get back in there. Get back in there. That's not going to heal. That's not going to help that inner child, our inner child, to heal and feel better and get what he or she or they or them or they need in order to move past whatever it is that they are trying to express or trying to let out, you know. Think of like energy as like a flowing stream. You know, I think of everything like water. Emotions are like water. Our bodies are so much water. Water is everything. Water is controlled by the moon and the blah, blah, blah. You know, I won't get too much into that because I don't know much about it. But if there's water trying to flow, the river, if your emotional river stream is trying to flow and you go, nope, you can't flow past here because that's not comfortable. I don't like it. I'm on stage. I have people around me that I need acceptance from. Like, you can't come up right now. Insecurities, shame, pain, sadness, depression, grief, more pain, shit I'm not dealing with. Then it's just going to keep it in there. And that inner being, inner child, inner pain of any sort, suffering, just stays and causes more suffering and never really gets let out. So I know I've gone on a little bit of a tangent around this specific area, but let it flow. Like when emotion is coming up, instead of being like, no, this shouldn't be this way, and then trying to shame yourself out of it, being like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. I've done so much work, or I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I followed the line. I went to school. I got the straight A's. I did all the healing work. I read all the books. Why do I still feel this way? No, honey, or not, honey, whoever you are, however you identify, whatever it is that it wants to come up. For me, a lot of the times it's insecurity. I just have to go, I feel really insecure in my body right now. And like, just let it be there. Say that's okay. And that's okay. And in that, and no matter how ugly it feels inside of me, I say, I love you anyways. Because I feel like that is where we get cut off on self-love. That's where the self-loving stream stops flowing, and where it got divided in our society and in our culture and in many cultures is, you know, is that we shouldn't feel this way, and then we just should all over ourselves, and we're like, oh, I shouldn't feel this, I shouldn't feel this, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't have done that, and blah blah blah. We are human. We are here to experience every depth of the humanness. That doesn't just mean just these emotions and just this little, just this is my happy place and that's all that should happen in my life. Like, no. Life is a vast ocean, not a teacup. It's not just the teacup of all of the love and joy and the comfort that we think it should be. Life is an ocean, and we must let life be lifin'. Let life be lifin'. Life is allowed to be life. Life is allowed to be life. So, let life be lifin'. And I know that's, again, easier said than done, but what else are we going to do? Keep resisting it? Or really like tune in, go within, go inside yourself for a moment and go like, fuck, is this really how I want to live my life? Is in this like constant internal battle with myself up against my own emotions or my own ways of perceiving or how I think the world should go? Like, is this really how I want to live life? Is feeling like I'm always like in survival up against something? You know, at one point we have to recognize, like, you can't get out of the stream. You know, you can't get out of the river of life until that time comes. And even then, you may still be in a stream. And rather than, like, being so angry at life or so uncomfortable with life being how it just is, you know, we can choose. We can choose to just be like, all right, I'm listening. I'm here with you, life. What is on today's menu and how can I use it to best serve me? My friends, it's been an honor to have you here with me today. This is where I'm going to end it. I feel like I've reached conclusion. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It is super duper appreciated. I am so grateful that you've made it this far. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you do enjoy my content, please come back, ring the little bell, get those notifications for more. I will be posting new episodes every week. More authenticity to spill out of the cup because she needs out now. And yeah, I can't hold her back anymore. She is screaming at me. So here we are. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with me. Mwah. Till next time, be blessed.